In this lecture, we're going to talk about installing WordPress. Most web hosts these days offer one-click WordPress installation right through the control panel, which is super easy. So for most people, that's the way to go. The process is going to look a little different depending on which web host you use. What I'm showing you here is how to do it in cPanel, which is the control panel software that a lot of web hosts use. The first thing you need to do on any web host is find the app installer. So in cPanel, it'll usually be under Software. And here you'll see it says Softaculous Apps Installer. Find something that looks something like that. I know in DreamHost, they just call it a one-click installer. And you'll click on that and see some kind of dashboard like this. It may be a little more simplistic, but generally you'll see a list of apps. WordPress will almost always be the first one because it's so popular. And all you have to do is click Install. Once you've done that, you'll see a page like this where we can enter some information about your WordPress install and get it set up. So first you want to choose the protocol. Now generally you're going to choose HTTP here. You can also choose HTTPS if you have SSL set up on your server. And then you can also choose whether you want www dot to be part of the URL or if you just want HTTP. So I'm going to go with HTTP. Then you choose the domain. If you only have one domain, it should automatically be here, or you can choose it from the dropdown. So I'm going to go with example.net for this example installation. In directory, this is the folder where you're going to install WordPress on this domain. So whatever you put here, it's going to be example.net/WP or example.net/blog. Or example.net/WordPress. If you don't want it to be /anything, then you delete that and it'll install it directly on example.net. So I'm going to leave it blank, and you most likely want to leave that blank as well. Site settings. These are pretty self-explanatory. You want to name your site. I'm going to call it My Example Site. And then your site description, I'll probably delete this later, but I think the installer requires you to have some kind of description here. So we're just going to leave my WordPress blog. Admin account. Again, pretty self-explanatory. You want to create a username and a password. And then you want to enter your email address. This is where you'll receive notifications from your WordPress install. Choose your language. Limit login attempts with Loginizer. We're going to check this, and I will explain exactly what that is and what it does a little later. You don't really have to dig into the advanced options here. And then you can select a theme if you want to. We're going to talk about themes later and how to actually find themes from within the WordPress dashboard. So I'm just going to leave this blank and let it install the default WordPress theme. Now at the bottom, if you want, you can email installation details to a particular email address. You can enter your email there to receive the login URL and all that stuff. And then you can just click Install. And again, this will look a little different depending on which web host you use, but it should look pretty similar. So here we have it. It says, congratulations, the software was installed successfully. So it'll show you your URL and your administrative URL. So this will be your site. We'll go ahead and open it, example.net. And we should see a blank WordPress site here with the default theme. Looks good. We have our Hello World post there. We can go back. And then the administrative URL is example.net/WP-admin. And this is where we can log in to our WordPress site. And here we are. So that's all there is to it. You may need to adapt those steps a little bit to your web host, but it should look something like that.